Hello everybody, I am Red King from Send More Robots, and welcome back to Space Engineers. So, today is Thursday, so that means there's a new update. And with this update, it's actually a pretty interesting one, because it's very minimal, but it's a lot of stuff that makes it improve the game further, as what updates should do, but it gives you even more of that spacey feeling. So I'm in one of my older ships right here, the kind of one I made for that rib design one I really enjoy. But now there's a new change to it. And before we used to be able to remotely access these doors, and I could just click a few buttons and do whatever I wanted, but now all I have to do is get close to it. And it's a really cool concept that they've come up with, and they're actually, it's a new one called sensors. And as you can see, there's this little itty-bitty thing right there. I'm actually going to get out of the cockpit so I can show you. And it's this tiny little sensor, but it's actually situated so that everything in this space is visible to the sensor. It's a way you can set it up, and I'll show you how to set it up. But this one's detected specifically for small ships, so it doesn't even activate until a small ship comes into contact or comes into its field of view. And I actually have another one. If you hear that little click noise, it's another sensor that actually closes the door right behind me, which is awesome, because now you don't even need to go into any sort of setup or anything to get it to work. It's as simple as, oh, if I had gravity, this would be easier. But it's as simple as setting it up on your keypads, and we'll do it this way. So, there's the sensor. Let me turn it the right way, because it's oriented the same way. If you look at the way it's situated, there is as you can see, it's green right now, so the sensor is picking me up. It goes blue, that means it's not picking me up. So it has a very limited range when you first put it out, but the sensor on the bottom, that's where it's picking it up. That's just a little thing. You can actually mess with the sensor itself. You go right up to it, and this is the setup for it. So as a sensor, you can see it has setup actions, the left extent, the right extent, bottom, top, back, and front. And I'm going to go into F11 and show you guys what that means. So this little bitty box you see right here is its influence zone. So as you can see, it can't see me, it doesn't know I'm there, and as soon as I walk into it, it turns green. So that's its influence zone, and I'm going to take F11 off while I do this. And so we can change that as we need to. So let's make the front zone 15 meters. We'll make the top, well, that's the bottom, leave that at 5. We're going to make the top 1. And that's all we're going to toy with on this one. And as you can see, when I go back into F11, if you look at the box, it is now more narrow. It's very specific to what I need it to do. So let's do it this way. I'm going to make some lights. I'm going to take the texturing off real quick. I'll put some lights right there. Now, those two interior lights are going to be set up to this thing. Let's see if I can find them. Yes, it should be these two. We're going to turn them off. Make a group. New lights. And as you can see, now they're off and everything like that. So we're going to set it up into this setting, into this sensor, so that it understands to turn them on when I'm there and off when I'm not there. So on, off. So now we're going to walk out of that zone, and we're going to fly back into it right now. And it turns them on, and we're just going to go up a little bit, and it turns them off. So it's a really cool system, because it kind of gives you more of an automated sense, so that if you're in your base, if you're trying to conserve power, and you're not using solar energy or using the eternal darkness thing, and you're trying to conserve energy, and you don't want things to run when you're not there, this is a great way to do it, because it'll respond only to a player. But you can also set it up to respond to different circumstances. So let's go into that. And as you can see here, it says detect player. So as soon as a player walks up, it activates. I think there's, I don't know about faction settings. Looks like there are faction settings. And it might be set up so that if your faction shows up, or anyone of your faction, whether it be you or someone else, it'll activate, but otherwise it might not. I'm not sure. I haven't been able to test that bit out yet. But with this activation here, you can do detect players, detect floating objects, small ships or large ships. The ones I have for the doors are actually set up for small ships. So it works if a small ship comes to those doors, it will open them up. Anything else, like a player or a large ship or anything else, will not be allowed to get inside. It's pretty cool. It works out really good. I really like the way it's set up. I actually made quite a big setup for this. Hold on. I know this has an antenna. I'm going to turn this on. Because even though we're done using it for now, it'll have more of a use later. Turn that on. Cool. So the antenna is now on. And we're gonna go out this door. Oh no, the blocks. So I made this new setup here. And then look, there's the sensor right there. And it activates these lights. So now you can see these orange lights setups here, so it's kind of like a warning area. This is a kind of an airlock area, or I'd say like a double door protection zone. I did notice one glitch with this one. When you close doors, they don't close all the way. There's actually quite a significant gap in there, but it doesn't seem to affect it at all. You can still use the doors as regular, and it still registers that they're fully closed, just not when you actually close them. So it's kind of weird. Once you put them down, they're fully closed, but once you open them and then close them, they have that weird setup again. Get rid of that. Yeah, and so the lights continue, and the sensor is set all the way back. So as soon as I get back to here, they turn off. So then they no longer draw power. And then I have this cool setup. I thought this would be really cool. What if you could use, like, you know, let's say you're in an emergency situation and you have to get out of there as quickly as possible. You have to try to escape your station faster than they can get into you. And so you lock all these doors behind you. You have it accessed so it's only set up to you. It won't be able to do anything else. And they have to grind their way down, and you're like, oh crap, I gotta get out. So I made a drop pod zone, and these two sensors are set up to a left and a right sense area. And these is my drop pod zone. It's not too bright, not too anything, not too fancy, but it does exactly what it needs to do. These are as minimal as they need to be. They do have 3 reactors, but that's just enough to get them to do what they need to do. Each one holds 1 person, and it has enough power to get along just fine. But overall, like, I really like the way it's designed. I like the way it's set up. And if you come over here, as you can see, the doors are now opening. So now the pods are ready to go. And all you have to do, someone hops in, and the generators are all on, and a quick flick of the switch, and they don't drop. Ah, god dang it. I seem to notice this is some sort of glitch I'm having with the whole thing. Is that they won't drop. But as soon as I activate it elsewhere, I promise you they will. So we're going to go in here. Oh, that's because the mass drive is on. So, let's turn that on. 3, 2, 1. Boom! And I really like the way this pod came out. And it's just going to keep on going. The pod is really cool. It works out in a very small space, so you don't really have to make too big of a space to get it to work. But they're still really efficient enough models that they could be used for pretty much anything. I think I have my... Oh, there's my dampeners. There's just so much gravity here. Yeah. But, yeah, for this episode, I mean, that's pretty much new for the update is the blinking lights, which you actually saw in my hallway, which was the really cool new function they set up on lights. I'm actually going to show you that right now. Let's get this down. So down here, if we go back to this setup, you can see that the lights are blinking and everything like that. Interior lights, I named them hall lights, so it was easier to find. As you can see right here, they have a new setup. It's blink interval and blink length and blink offset. So if you were to set them up like this, and then we put, where is that little button? So these two, we're gonna make a blinking interval it's only gonna be about 10 seconds long. They're gonna do it 50% of the time. You can change that percentage to however much you want. It's all about the same. The blinking offset, you can actually change all these intervals by pushing Control and clicking the left mouse button, which will change it up for you. And it's the same with both values, both of those, and you can do it on this one. So the blinking offset, they do it by percentage, so we're going to do it by 50. Now look. Well, once they come on, oh, they're not offset. Oh, I think they're trying to offset I think they're trying to offset at the same time. I'm still trying to get the hang of it. Yep. And you can set it to go faster. It took me a little bit to finagle with all of this stuff. I think about 5 seconds is a good time, because then it's fast enough that they kind of go fast. It depends on how you want to set it up. 5 seconds is a good time. I think I have several of them set to maybe 3 seconds, 2.5. Yeah, there you go. Nice little setup. I mean, if you wanted to do cop lights, you could do it that way. Make that one all red. We'll make this one all blue. And there you go. Now you have functioning cop lights, and it's really cool how they set that up. Now they have, as you can see, where the way I set it up here is yellow and red, so they continue to blink and they offset. It's really nice. I really like the new light setup just because it gives you kind of a cool idea to measure stuff and set up runways and everything. It'd be really nice, especially with the sensors. Being able to set up the sensors that create offset lighting and everything, it'd be really cool. So, this is the last thing I'm going to show you guys. This is from the update, and this is how I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out literally with the bang. So, we all know we can control things remotely. So this is that one ship I just had that's actually still in that hangar. And it has a new little thing inside of it. It's got a bunch of warheads, and warheads now have a new function. So as you can see, the warhead now has a timer. And you can now set up how long it takes for it to detonate, whether it goes all the way, I think it goes up all the way to 1 minute to 1 second. We're going to do 5 seconds. But now you can start a countdown, you can stop the countdown if you get there in time, or you can just turn it off and detonate it all on your own. We're going to do a countdown. And now that's just one of them about to go off. And the nice thing is, you literally only need to control one warhead, and it will just go off like no other. Fortunately for my base, that was a big enough zone that it didn't... Oh, come on, you can make it! Oh, I barely made it. It was a big enough zone that it really didn't do any much damage, save for to this little ship. But now, you can have personal bombs that run in and can be in ship form. And for all those pirates out there, or people looking to do some serious damage to anybody, now we can put them on ships and we can detonate them from afar. It's gonna be quite fun. But thank you all for joining me on this episode. Again, my name is Red King from Send More Robots. And always remember who you are and what you are. Don't go cause any trouble at that world. And always remember, be good to one another. Goodbye, guys.